She came to the island for a job, a lighthouse keeper's assistant. 6 months, good pay, isolated but safe. 3 assistants came before her. All vanished without a trace, their belongings still in their rooms, their journals ending on the same words, "Never let the light go out." The keeper says they just left, found better opportunities, but their boats are still at the dock. Now she's alone on the island with a man who might be lying, a lighthouse that can never go dark, and a secret buried in the rocks below. 6 months suddenly feels like eternity. The lighthouse keeper's secret. Before we start, rate this story from 1 to 10 in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from, and subscribe to support the channel. Your support means everything. Now, let's begin. November 3rd, 1899. The boat cuts through gray water. Cold, brutal, North Atlantic in autumn. Eleanor Ashford grips the rail, salt spray stinging her face. She's 26, dark hair pulled tight, practical dress, worn leather bag at her feet. The ferryman, old Thomas, weathered as driftwood, hasn't spoken in 20 minutes, just rows, steady, mechanical. Finally, "You sure about this, miss?" "I'm sure." "Last 3 didn't last long." "What happened to them?" Thomas rose, doesn't answer. "Mr. Thomas?" "Weren't my business then, ain't my business now." The island emerges from mist, Craigmore Rock, a fist of black stone jutting from the ocean. The lighthouse towers above, white stone, 150 feet tall, beams sweeping the fog. No trees, no beach, just rock and fury. "How often do supply boats come?" Eleanor asks. "Once a month, weather permitting." Thomas beaches the small boat on the landing, doesn't get out. "You change your mind, I'm here 5 more minutes." "I won't change my mind." "They all said that too." He hands her bag up. Eleanor climbs the slippery rocks, doesn't look back. Behind her, Thomas pushes off, rowing away, fast. Eleanor stands alone on Craigmore Rock, wind howling, waves crashing, the lighthouse beams sweeping overhead. The door at the base of the lighthouse opens. A man emerges, tall, maybe 35, dark beard, gray eyes, heavy wool coat. "Miss Ashford?" "Yes. You're Mr. Brennan?" "Hugh Brennan, keeper of Craigmore Light." He doesn't offer his hand, just studies her. "You're smaller than I expected." "I'm stronger than I look." "You'll need to be." He turns back inside. "Come, I'll show you the quarters." Eleanor follows him into the lighthouse. The door closes behind her with a sound like a coffin lid. The ground floor is sparse, stone walls, a kitchen area, table and chairs, shelves with supplies, a stove radiating heat. Stairs spiral upward into darkness. 3 levels, Hugh says, not looking at her. Ground floor, kitchen and my quarters. 2nd floor, assistants' quarters. 3rd, lamp room. You'll work the night watch, midnight to dawn. I take day watch and evening. What exactly does the work involve? Keep the lamp burning, wind the clockwork every 3 hours, trim the wick, polish the lens, log weather and passing ships. Basic maintenance. He starts up the stairs. Don't let the light go out. Ever. What happens if it does? Ships die. People die. The rocks here have claimed 60 vessels. The light is the only thing keeping more from joining them. They climb. Eleanor's legs already burning, the stairs narrow as they rise. Second floor. A small room. Bed, desk, wardrobe, window facing the ocean. Spare. Clean. Impersonal. Your quarters. Meals at 8, 1, and 6. I eat alone. You'll do the same. Hugh sets her bag down. Chamber pot under the bed. Outhouse is outside, east side, sheltered from the wind. Don't go out during storms. I noticed boats at the dock, 3 of them. Hugh's jaw tightens. Supply boats. Backups. The ferryman said 3 assistants came before me. What happened to them? They left. He said they vanished. Old Thomas gossips like a fishwife. They quit, found the isolation difficult, took the supply boat when it came. Hugh moves to the door. You'll start tonight. I'll wake you at 11:30. Get settled. He leaves, his footsteps heavy on the stairs. Eleanor waits until she hears his door close below. Then she moves to the desk, opens the drawer. Empty. She checks the wardrobe, also empty, but there's something odd. 3 scratches on the inside of the door, deep, deliberate. Tally marks. She runs her finger over them, rough, made with something sharp. Why would someone count inside a wardrobe? Eleanor sits on the bed. It's firm. The blanket smells of salt and soap, clean but not new. Through the window, the ocean churns, gray, endless. No other land visible, just Craigmore Rock and the sea. She's truly alone here, with Hugh Brennan, a man she doesn't know, and 3 people who disappeared. 11:30, a knock on her door. Eleanor is already awake, dressed in practical wool, hair braided. Hugh waits in the stairwell, oil lamp in hand. Come, I'll show you the lamp room. They climb, higher, the stairs narrowing to barely shoulder width, wind whistling through cracks in the stone. The lamp room is spectacular. A massive Fresnel lens surrounds the flame, hundreds of prismatic glass pieces focusing the light into a beam that could cut the darkness for 20 miles. The lens rotates slowly on a clockwork mechanism powered by weights that descend through the center of the lighthouse. It's beautiful, Eleanor whispers. It's survival. Hugh shows her the controls. The weights need rewinding every 3 hours. Handle here. 20 turns, wick trimming, scissors there. Keep the flame even. No smoking, no flames except the lighthouse lamp. Oil reservoir here. Logbook there. Record time, weather, and any ships you see. He opens the logbook. Pages and pages of neat handwriting. Eleanor notices something. The handwriting changes. Not Hugh's writing alone. Other hands. Other assistants. May I see the previous entries? Hugh closes the book. No need. You'll write your own. I just wanted to see. You'll write your own. Hugh repeats. Firm. Final. He shows her how to check the flame, how to adjust the wick, how to clean the lens without leaving streaks. Questions? The previous assistants, did they keep the log too? For a time. How long were they here? Miss Ashford, I hired you to keep the light burning, not to investigate people who quit because they couldn't handle isolation. Can you handle isolation? Eleanor meets his eyes, gray as the sea, unreadable. I can. Good. I'll be on the floor below if you need anything. Don't need anything. He descends the stairs, leaving her alone with the light. Eleanor waits until his footsteps fade. Then she opens the logbook. Pages back, reading the entries, different handwriting, 3 distinct hands before Hugh's current entries. June 12th, 1899. Clear. No ships. lamp burning steady, MK. June 20th, 1899. Fog thick, can hear things in it, not seabirds, MK. June 28th, 1899. Something wrong with the clockwork, stops at 3 a.m. every night. Hugh says it's fine, it's not fine, MK. July 3rd, 1899. Found scratches on my door, I didn't make them. Hugh says I must have, I didn't, MK. July 7th, 1899. Last entry. Leaving tomorrow. Can't stay. The light knows. MK. MK. Margaret something? The handwriting stops abruptly. Next section. Different hand. Masculine. Strong strokes. July 15th, 1899. First watch. Lamp functioning. Weather fair. JP. July 30th, 1899. The keeper is odd. Doesn't speak much. Doesn't sleep much either. Hear him moving around at all hours. JP. August 10th, 1899. The lamp went out last night. Just for a moment. I was winding the clockwork. When I turned around, it was dark. Then it lit again on its own. Hugh says I imagined it. I didn't. JP. August 14th, 1899. Something lives in the rocks below. I've seen it moving at low tide. Hugh says it's seals. Seals don't move like that. JP. August 19th. Final entry. Taking the supply boat tomorrow. Hugh can keep his secrets and his lighthouse. JP. But Eleanor knows from old Thomas, JP never took the supply boat. The boat is still at the dock. Third hand, delicate, educated writing. September 2nd, 1899. Assistant position, first night. Lamp room is magnificent. The keeper is intense. September 15th, 1899. Found previous assistant's journal in the rocks. She wrote about hearing voices, about the light going out, about something in the water. I thought she was mad. Now I hear them too. September 28th, 1899. Hugh is lying. The previous assistants didn't leave. Their belongings are still here. I found Margaret's locket in the rocks below. James's pipe behind the cistern. Why would they leave those? CW. October 5th, 1899. I tried to leave. Hugh stopped me. Said the sea is too rough. Supply boat can't come. But it's not rough. He's lying. CW. October 12th, 1899. He knows I know. Watches me constantly. I have to be careful. Writing this hidden. If anyone finds this, don't trust Hugh Brennan. Don't let the light go out. But also don't stay. Whatever he's protecting, it's not worth... The entry stops mid-sentence. October 12th. 3 weeks ago. Eleanor's hands shake. All 3 assistants, all wrote about leaving, all vanished. And now she's here. Eleanor closes the logbook carefully, looks out at the dark ocean, the beam of light cutting through. She's trapped on this island with Hugh Brennan, and she has no idea why the others really disappeared. Day 2, November 4th, 1899. Eleanor doesn't sleep, just lies in bed waiting for dawn, listening to the lighthouse groan in the wind, listening for footsteps. None come. At 6 a.m. she rises, washes with cold water from the pitcher, dresses, goes downstairs. Hugh is already in the kitchen, cooking porridge on the stove. He doesn't look up. Sleep well? Well enough. Lamp functioning properly? Perfectly. Good. He dishes porridge into 2 bowls, sets one at the table. Eat, then rest. You're on watch again tonight. Eleanor sits. The porridge is plain but warm. She eats slowly, watching Hugh. He's methodical. Everything in its place. Movements efficient, no wasted motion. Mr. Brennan, Hugh. Hugh, how long have you been keeper here? 4 years. And before that? Merchant marine, sailed the Atlantic, got tired of moving, wanted something fixed, solid. He eats without looking at her. Why'd you take this position? Eleanor considers lying, decides on partial truth. I needed work. I'm educated but unmarried. Options are limited. Teaching, governess work, or this. This pays better. Educated in what? Literature, philosophy. My father taught at university before he died. I read everything in his library. Philosophy won't help you here. This is practical work. I can do practical work. We'll see. Hugh finishes his porridge, stands. I'm inspecting the lamp. Rest. He leaves. Eleanor waits 5 minutes. Then she moves. Quickly, quietly, she searches the ground floor. Hugh's quarters are behind a locked door, but the rest of the space is open. Supply shelves, canned goods, dried meat, oil for the lamp, everything labeled, organized. She finds a cabinet, opens it. Inside, tools, hammers, nails, rope, a knife, flares. And at the back, a small wooden box. Eleanor opens it. Inside, 3 items. A silver locket, woman's, engraved with initials M.K. A pipe, well used, tobacco still in the bowl. A fountain pen, expensive, initials C.W. on the clip. Eleanor's blood runs cold. These belonged to the previous assistants, Margaret, James, Catherine. Hugh said they left, took the supply boat, found better opportunities. But their personal belongings are here, in a box in Hugh's cabinet. People don't leave without their treasured possessions. Eleanor closes the box carefully, returns it exactly as it was, closes the cabinet. She needs to be smart about this. Can't let Hugh know she suspects, but she needs answers, and she needs a way off this island. Eleanor keeps the watch, winds the clockwork, trims the wick, logs weather. The ocean is black glass, stars faint through clouds, no ships. She's alone with the light and her thoughts. Around 2 a.m., she hears something. A sound from below, not wind, not waves, footsteps. Hugh moving around, even though he should be sleeping. Eleanor moves to the stairs, listens. The footsteps descend, past the ground floor, lower. But there's nothing lower. The lighthouse stands on bedrock. Except, Eleanor remembers. When she arrived, she noticed the base of the lighthouse, the door they entered through. It's not at ground level. There are steps down to it from the interior, which means there's space beneath. A basement or cellar, something underground. The footsteps fade, then silence. Eleanor waits. 20 minutes. 30. The footsteps return, ascending, past ground floor, stopping. Hugh's door opens and closes. Silence. Eleanor's heart pounds. What is Hugh doing below the lighthouse at 2 a.m.? She forces herself to wait until 4 a.m. Then she descends the stairs carefully, quietly. Ground floor empty. Hugh's door closed, no light beneath it. Eleanor finds the stairs going down, narrow, stone, leading to the entrance door. But there's something else. To the left of the door, another opening, barely visible in shadow. A gap in the stonework, narrow, leading deeper. Eleanor lights a small candle from the kitchen, shields the flame. She squeezes through the gap. A passage, crude, carved through bedrock, leading down. The walls are damp, smell of salt and something else, decay. Eleanor moves forward. The passage opens into a small chamber. Natural cave, partially flooded, water lapping at edges. And there, Eleanor's candle illuminates the space. She bites back a scream. 3 bundles, wrapped in canvas, tied with rope. Eleanor knows what they are before she even moves closer. Bodies, the 3 previous assistants. She forces herself forward, hands shaking, unwraps the corner of one bundle. A woman's face, preserved by cold salt water, eyes closed, peaceful, like sleeping. Margaret Kelly, M.K. Eleanor backs away, stomach churning. She can't unwrap the others, can't look. Hugh didn't let them leave. Hugh killed them. And now Eleanor is alone on this island with a murderer. She has to get out, has to escape. But how? No boats except the 3 at the dock, and Hugh controls those. Supply boat not due for 3 more weeks. No way to signal for help. The lamp is for ships, not for summoning rescue. Eleanor backs out of the cave, through the passage, up to ground floor. She's breathing too fast, panic rising. Stay calm. Think. There has to be a way. She returns to her quarters, sits on the bed, forces herself to breathe slowly. Options. 1. Confront Hugh. Demand answers. Risk. He kills her too. 2. Try to escape in one of the boats. Risk. She's not a skilled sailor. North Atlantic in November. She'll likely drown. 3. Wait for the supply boat. 3 weeks. Risk. Hugh might kill her before then if he suspects she knows. Or 4. Signal for help somehow. But how? The light is automatic. Can't use it to send distress signals without Hugh noticing. Unless Eleanor remembers the flares in the cabinet, emergency flares for signaling ships in distress. If she can fire a flare when a ship passes, make it look like an accident or emergency, the ship might investigate. It's a slim chance, but it's something. Eleanor lies down, doesn't sleep, just plans. She'll wait, watch for ships, stay alive, and find out why Hugh is killing his assistants. Day 5, November 7th, 1899. 3 days pass. Eleanor keeps the watch, maintains the light, acts normal. But she's hyper-aware of Hugh now. Every movement, every word. He's not overtly threatening, doesn't menace her, just watches, studies her, like he's waiting for something. On the 5th day, a storm rolls in, massive. The ocean turns violent, waves crashing against the rocks so hard the lighthouse trembles. Eleanor is in her quarters when Hugh knocks. "Storm's getting worse. You'll help me secure the exterior. Now." They go outside. The wind nearly rips Eleanor off her feet. Hugh grabs her arm, steadies her. Together, they secure shutters, tie down equipment, move supplies inside. The work is brutal, cold, exhausting. But Eleanor notices something. Hugh is strong, very strong, but he moves carefully, like he's in pain. When they finish and return inside, both soaked and freezing, Eleanor sees it. Hugh removes his coat. His shirt beneath is torn at the shoulder, blood seeping through. "You're hurt." "It's nothing, old wound." Hugh tries to cover it. "Let me see, I can bandage it." "I said it's nothing. It's bleeding through your shirt. You need it cleaned or it'll infect." Eleanor steps closer. "I'm not squeamish. My father was ill for years before he died. I tended his wounds. Let me help." Hugh hesitates, then nods curtly, sits at the table. Eleanor fetches clean water and cloth. Returns. Hugh has removed his shirt. His torso is covered in scars, old ones, some surgical, some that look like claws. "What happened to you?" Eleanor asks quietly. "Life." Hugh doesn't look at her. "Clean the shoulder wound, that's all." Eleanor does. The wound is recent, deep, ragged edges, like something tore his flesh. "How did you get this?" "Slipped on the rocks, caught it on a sharp edge." This doesn't look like rocks. That's what it was. Hugh's voice hardens. Just clean it. Eleanor bandages the wound in silence, her hands steady despite her fear. This man has killed 3 people, and she's touching him, helping him, but she needs him to trust her, needs him calm, not suspicious. When she finishes, Hugh stands. Thank you. You should rest. I'll take the evening watch early. I can rest, Hugh. I insist. He looks at her, really looks. For the first time, something shifts in his expression. Softness. Brief. Gone quickly. All right, 2 hours, then I'll take over. He goes to his quarters. Eleanor waits, listening. Eventually, she hears it. Deep breathing. Sleep. Hugh is asleep. This is her chance. Eleanor moves quickly, searches the ground floor more thoroughly, finds Hugh's desk, papers, logs, supply records, and a journal, leather-bound, locked. Eleanor takes a thin knife from the kitchen, works the lock. It gives. She opens the journal. Hugh's handwriting, dense, emotional. The first entry is dated 4 years ago, November 1895. I arrived at Craigmore Rock today as the new keeper. My predecessor warned me before he left. The light must never go out, not even for a moment. You'll understand why soon enough. I thought he was being dramatic, superstitious old man. He wasn't. December 1895. I've seen it now. What lives in the water? What comes when the light goes dark? I let the lamp go out last night, just for 3 minutes. I was adjusting the clockwork, didn't think it mattered. The thing came from the ocean, climbed the rocks. Enormous, not quite seal, not quite human. Something ancient, something that should not exist. It reached the lighthouse door. I got the lamp burning again just in time. The light drove it back. My predecessor was right. The light must never go out. January 1896. I understand now. Craigmore Rock sits above an underwater cave system. Something lives down there. Multiple somethings. The light keeps them in the water, but when darkness comes, even for moments, they emerge. The lighthouse isn't just for ships, it's a prison, keeping those things contained. March 1896. I've been exploring the caves beneath, trying to understand. I've found remains, human, dozens, maybe hundreds, going back centuries. These creatures hunt, feed. The lighthouse was built specifically to stop them. The light is their weakness, drives them back. But they're intelligent, patient. They wait for the light to fail. And sometimes it does. Storms, damage, human error. When it fails, people die. Eleanor's hands shake. She keeps reading. June 1899. Margaret Kelly arrived as assistant today. Bright, eager. I've tried to do this alone for years, but the work is too much. I need help. I won't tell her about the creatures. She'd leave. Everyone leaves when they know. I just need her to keep the lamp burning. That's all. July 1899. Margaret is asking questions. Found scratches on her door. I put them there, counting the days until supply boat. I didn't want her to panic. She saw one of the creatures at low tide, thought it was seals. I encouraged that belief. But she's smart. She'll figure it out. July 7th, 1899. Margaret tried to leave today, took one of the boats. I couldn't let her go. Not because I wanted to hurt her, because she wouldn't have made it. The creatures followed her, capsized the boat. She drowned within sight of the island. I retrieved her body, brought it back, buried it in the caves below. Her death is on me. I should never have hired an assistant. Eleanor's breath catches. Hugh didn't murder Margaret. The creatures killed her. She keeps reading. July 15th, 1899. James Pierce arrived. I'm trying again. Maybe he'll fare better. I have to tell the next one, have to warn them. But how do you explain something impossible? August 19th, 1899. James saw them, the creatures. He panicked, tried to leave during a storm. I begged him not to. The creatures are more active in rough water. He didn't listen. They tore him apart before he even got the boat 50 feet from shore. I buried him with Margaret. September 2nd, 1899. Catherine Warren, third assistant. I'm more careful this time, trying to protect her by keeping her in the lighthouse, not letting her see too much. But I think my secrecy is making things worse. She's suspicious, thinks I'm the danger. I'm not, but I can't explain without sounding insane. October 12th, 1899. Catherine found Margaret's locket, confronted me. I tried to explain. She didn't believe me. She attempted escape at night, against my warnings, against all reason. The creatures were waiting. I couldn't save her, couldn't reach her in time. 3 assistants, 3 deaths, all because I can't keep this lighthouse alone, and I can't make anyone understand the truth. I won't hire another. I'll die here alone before I let anyone else die because of my weakness. But then Eleanor arrived, and Hugh, desperate, hired her anyway. Eleanor closes the journal. Her whole understanding has shifted. Hugh isn't a murderer, he's a protector. The lighthouse isn't a prison for people, it's a prison for monsters, and Eleanor has been trapped here afraid of the wrong thing. The real danger is in the water. Eleanor confronts Hugh that evening, lamp room, during her watch. He comes up to check on her, standard procedure. I read your journal, Eleanor says. Hugh goes still. You had no right. You should have told me about the creatures, about what happened to the others. Would you have believed me? Probably not, but I would have been careful. I wouldn't have planned to escape. Eleanor meets his eyes. I found the bodies. I thought you killed them. I've been planning to signal a ship for rescue. Hugh's face drains of color. Eleanor, no, you can't. Anyone who comes here, I know that now. I'm not leaving. I'm not signaling anyone. She pauses. But I want the truth. All of it. What are those things? Hugh leans against the lamp room wall, exhausted, defeated. I don't know what they are. Ancient. Older than any species we know. They live in the underwater caves, dozens of them, maybe more. They look almost human, but they're not. They're predators, and they're drawn to darkness. Why does the light stop them? I don't know. Maybe their eyes are too sensitive. Maybe it's something else. But as long as the light burns, they stay in the water. If it goes out, even for minutes, they emerge, hunt, kill. How do you know all this? My predecessor kept records. Generations of lighthouse keepers have known. This lighthouse was built in 1750 for this specific purpose, not just to guide ships, to contain those things. Eleanor processes this. So we're prison guards. Yes. And if we fail, if the light goes out, people die. The creatures will attack any ship that passes, any person who comes ashore. They'll feed until the light is restored or until they're satisfied. Has the light ever gone out, besides the times you mentioned? Hugh's jaw tightens. Once, 10 years before I arrived, the keeper had a heart attack, died at the lamp. The light burned out. 3 ships wrecked on the rocks that night. 200 people died before another keeper could reach the island and restart the lamp. Eleanor feels cold. We can't ever let that happen again. No, we can't. They stand in silence, the lamp rotating, beams sweeping the darkness. "I'm sorry," Hugh says quietly, "for not telling you, for letting you think I was the danger. I didn't know how to explain, and everyone I tell either doesn't believe me or panics. Both responses get them killed." "I believe you, and I won't panic." Eleanor looks at him. "But we need a better system. If one of us gets hurt or sick, the other needs to be able to manage alone. We should train each other on everything. Redundancy." "Agreed." "And Hugh, no more secrets. If something is wrong, you tell me. If you're injured or exhausted, you tell me. We're partners in this, not keeper and assistant. Partners." Hugh nods slowly. "Partners." For the first time since Eleanor arrived, he smiles. Faint, but real. "You're braver than the others. Smarter, too. I had good teachers. My father. Life." Eleanor manages a small smile back. "And I'm stubborn. Very, very stubborn." "I noticed." They stand watch together, as the storm rages outside, as the lamp burns steady. Two people alone against the dark, and the things that live in it. November turns to December. The storms worsen, but Eleanor and Hugh develop a rhythm. They work together, train together, share watches when weather is particularly bad. Hugh teaches Eleanor everything: how to repair the clockwork, how to replace lamp components, emergency procedures, navigation basics, even how to handle the boats. Eleanor proves invaluable. She's organized, methodical, quick thinking, and something else develops, slowly, carefully: trust. Then friendship, then something more. It's not spoken, not acted on, but it's there, in the way Hugh looks at her when he thinks she's not watching, in the way Eleanor's heart races when he's near. They're isolated, alone, dependent on each other for survival, and feelings bloom in the unlikeliest places. December 15th, 1899, the first attack. It happens during Eleanor's watch. 2 a.m., clear night, calm seas. She's winding the clockwork when she hears something. Scratching on the exterior of the lighthouse, low, near the base. Eleanor freezes, listens. The sound moves, climbing, slowly, deliberately. Claws on stone. Eleanor looks out. The lamp's beam sweeps the rocks below. For a moment, she sees it. A creature, seal-like body, but wrong, too large, too elongated, and when it lifts its head, the face is almost human, pale, eyeless, mouth full of teeth. It's climbing the lighthouse. Eleanor runs to the stairs. "Hugh!" He's up instantly, joins her in the lamp room. "What?" "It's climbing. One of them. It's climbing." Hugh looks out, sees it. His face goes hard. "The light's still burning. It shouldn't be able to." The creature reaches a window, 3rd floor. It clings there, claws scraping glass. "Why isn't the light driving it back?" Eleanor asks. "I don't know. This has never happened before." The creature smashes the window, glass shattering. It starts to pull itself inside. Hugh grabs a fire axe from the emergency equipment. "Stay behind me." "Hugh?" "Eleanor, stay behind me." The creature drags itself into the lighthouse, wet, smelling of rotted fish and death. It's enormous, 7 feet long, muscular, built for killing. Hugh swings the axe. The blade bites deep into the creature's shoulder. Black blood sprays. The thing shrieks, a sound like metal tearing. It lunges. Hugh barely dodges, swings again, catches it across the face. The creature falls, thrashing. Hugh strikes again and again, until it stops moving. Silence. except for their ragged breathing. "Is it dead?" whispers Eleanor. Hugh prods it with the axe. No response. "Yes." They stare at the corpse. Up close, it's even more horrifying. Smooth, pale skin, no eyes, just shallow indentations, gills on its neck, hands that are part flipper, part claw. Why did it climb? The light's still burning. I don't know. Hugh drags the body toward the broken window, pushes it out. It falls, crashes on the rocks below. But if one can climb during the light, others might try. We need to reinforce the windows, board them from inside. Agreed. Tomorrow. For now, we keep double watch, both of us, until dawn. They spend the rest of the night in the lamp room, together, vigilant. No more creatures come, but the message is clear. The rules have changed. 5 days later, Hugh collapses. Eleanor finds him on the ground floor, unconscious, fever burning through him. The wound on his shoulder, the one from before Eleanor arrived, has infected, despite her bandaging, despite everything. Eleanor drags him to his bed, strips his shirt. The wound is inflamed, red streaking up toward his heart. Blood poisoning, sepsis. Without a doctor, Hugh will die. But there's no doctor, no help. The supply boat isn't due for 10 more days. Eleanor has 2 choices: try to save Hugh herself, or watch him die. She chooses to fight. She cleans the wound, drains the infection, uses whiskey as antiseptic, it's all she has, packs the wound with clean cloth, forces water and broth down Hugh's throat when he's conscious enough to swallow, and she keeps the light burning. Alone. For 3 days, Eleanor doesn't sleep, just moves between Hugh's bedside and the lamp room, winding the clockwork, tending the flame, nursing Hugh, over and over. A brutal cycle. She's exhausted, hallucinating from lack of sleep, but she doesn't stop. Can't stop. Because if she fails, if the light goes out or Hugh dies, she'll be alone on this island with those creatures, and she won't survive. On the 3rd day, Hugh wakes, fever broken, weak but alive. Eleanor is in the chair beside his bed. She's been dozing, jerks awake when he speaks. "Eleanor." "Hugh, you're awake. Thank God." She helps him drink water. "The infection broke. You're going to live." "You saved me." "Why not? Would have been easier. You could have taken the supply boat when it comes, left all this behind." Eleanor looks at him, really looks. His gray eyes, his scarred face, this man who has carried impossible weight alone for so long. "I'm not leaving you," she says quietly. "I'm not leaving this lighthouse. We're in this together, remember? Partners." Hugh's hand finds hers, squeezes weakly. "Partners." "Besides," Eleanor adds, trying to lighten the moment, "you still owe me 3 months' wages. I'm not letting you die before you pay up." Hugh laughs. "It's rough, painful, but real." "Fair enough." Eleanor helps him sit up, feeds him broth. He's recovering fast now, strong constitution. "I'll take the watch tonight," Eleanor says. "You rest." "I can..." "Hugh, rest. That's an order." "Since when do you give orders?" "Since I saved your life. Now I get to boss you around. Them's the rules." Hugh smiles. "Yes, ma'am." Eleanor leaves him to sleep, returns to the lamp room. As she winds the clockwork and watches the light sweep the darkness, she realizes something. She's not afraid anymore. She knows what's out there. She knows the danger. She knows the stakes. And she chooses to stay anyway. Not because she has to, because she wants to. This lighthouse, this impossible job, this lonely island, and Hugh. She wants all of it. December 30th, 1899, The supply boat. The supply boat arrives, on schedule, old Thomas rowing through choppy water. He beaches the boat, sees Eleanor and Hugh waiting. "You're still here," Thomas says to Eleanor, surprised. "Still here. And alive." He studies her, then Hugh. "Both of you." "Both of us." Eleanor helps unload supplies. "Anything unusual on the mainland?" "Storm's brewing. Big one. Coming in tomorrow or the next day. You'll want to be prepared." "We will be." Thomas hands Hugh a sealed envelope. "Letter from the mainland authority. For you." Hugh opens it, reads. His expression doesn't change, but Eleanor sees his jaw tighten. "What is it?" she asks after Thomas leaves. "They're sending an inspector, after the new year, to evaluate the lighthouse, determine if it's worth maintaining or if they should decommission it." Eleanor's blood runs cold. Decommission? They can't. If there's no light. "Hundreds will die, I know." Hugh crumples the letter. "We'll deal with it when he comes. For now, we prepare for this storm." They spend the day securing everything, boarding windows, stocking supplies, preparing for what old Thomas warned about. The storm hits that night. December 31st, 1899. It's the worst storm Eleanor has ever seen, worse than any Hugh has experienced in 4 years. Waves crash over the lighthouse base, wind so strong the tower sways, rain horizontal, thunder that shakes stone. Eleanor and Hugh are in the lamp room, both of them, can't risk being separated. The lamp flickers. "The wind's affecting the flame," Hugh shouts over the roar. "We need to shield it better." They work frantically, adjusting panels, blocking wind, keeping the flames steady. But the clockwork is struggling. The weights can't descend smoothly in the swaying tower. The rotation stutters. "It's going to stop," Eleanor yells. "We'll hand crank it. Come on." They work together. Hugh on one side, Eleanor on the other, manually turning the massive lens, keeping it rotating, keeping the beam sweeping. Their muscles scream, sweat pours, but they don't stop. Can't stop. Hours pass. The storm doesn't relent. And then, disaster. A massive wave hits. The lighthouse shudders. Something snaps in the clockwork. The lamp goes out. Total darkness. "No!" Hugh lunges for the lamp. "Eleanor, the matches, now!" Eleanor fumbles in the dark, finds the match tin. Her hands are shaking so badly she drops it. Matches scatter. She scrambles, finds one, strikes it. The tiny flame flares. She lights the lamp wick. The light blazes back to life. Total darkness lasted maybe 30 seconds, but 30 seconds is enough. Hugh runs to the window, looks down. "Oh, God." Eleanor joins him. The rocks below are moving, covered with creatures, dozens of them, climbing, swarming, heading for the lighthouse. "They're coming," Hugh says. "All of them." "How long do we have?" "Minutes, maybe less." Hugh grabs the axe. "Bar the door downstairs. Use everything. Furniture, supplies, anything heavy." They run downstairs. Hugh drags his bed frame to the door. Eleanor pulls the table, the chairs, heavy supply crates. They pile everything against the door, creating a barricade. Outside, the creatures arrive, hitting the door, throwing themselves against it. The wood shakes, holds, for now. "The windows!" Eleanor gasps. The ground floor has narrow windows, small, but not too small for the creatures. Hugh and Eleanor board them from inside, using spare wood, nails, anything. The creatures smash against the boards, claws scraping, that horrible shrieking. "It's not enough," Hugh says. "They'll get through eventually." "Then what do we do?" "We go up, barricade ourselves in the lamp room, keep the light burning no matter what. If the light stays on, they can't stay on land long. The light weakens them. They'll have to retreat eventually. How long can they last? I don't know. Maybe hours. Maybe dawn. Hugh looks at her. We have to survive until then. They grab weapons, the axe, knives, a boat hook, and they climb up to the lamp room, sealing the hatch behind them. The creatures fill the lighthouse below. Eleanor can hear them, breaking through the barricades, flooding into the ground floor, smashing furniture, climbing the stairs. They reach the second floor, Eleanor's quarters, destroying everything. Then, third floor, still climbing. They're at the lamp room hatch, pounding on it, the metal buckling. It won't hold, Eleanor whispers. It has to. Hugh stands ready with the axe. Eleanor, keep the lamp burning, no matter what happens. Don't let it go out. Hugh, promise me. The light is everything. People are depending on us. Promise. Eleanor nods. I promise. The hatch bursts open. Creatures pour through. Hugh swings the axe. Eleanor grabs the boat hook. They fight. It's brutal, desperate. The creatures keep coming. Hugh pats them down. Eleanor stabs, pushes them back. But there are too many. One gets past Hugh, lunges for Eleanor. She dodges. It crashes into the lamp mechanism. The lens cracks. The rotation stops. The beam freezes, pointing out to sea, no longer sweeping. No! Eleanor abandons fighting, runs to the mechanism, tries to restart it manually. It's jammed. The creature's impact bent something. Without the rotating beam, the light isn't at full effectiveness. The creatures can withstand it better. They press forward. Hugh is overwhelmed, fighting 3 at once, bleeding from multiple wounds. Eleanor makes a decision. She grabs a flare from the emergency kit, the ones she'd planned to use for escape, fires it directly at the creatures. The flare explodes in brilliant red light. The creatures shriek, fall back, blinded, burning. Again! Hugh shouts. Eleanor fires another and another. The lamp room fills with light, smoke, chaos. The creatures flee, scrambling back down, away from the intensity. Eleanor and Hugh collapse, breathing hard, bleeding, exhausted. The storm rages outside, but the lamp room is secure again. For now. The storm breaks at dawn. The creatures retreat to the water, unable to withstand daylight and the lamp's light combined. Eleanor and Hugh stand in the lamp room, surveying the damage. The lens is cracked but functional. The mechanism is repairable. The lighthouse itself battered but standing. They survived. We did it, Eleanor says, barely believing it. You did it. The flares, that was brilliant. I had good inspiration. Eleanor looks at Hugh, really looks. He's covered in wounds, blood and bruises, but alive, strong. You fought for hours. I've never seen anything like it. Had someone worth fighting for. Their eyes meet, hold. Hugh steps closer. Eleanor, I know. You know? I've known for weeks, maybe since the fever, maybe before. Eleanor doesn't back away. I feel it too. This is a terrible place to fall in love. Terrible, isolated, dangerous, impossible. Eleanor smiles, tired but real. Also the only place I want to be. Hugh touches her face gently. Are you sure? You could leave, take the supply boat next month, go back to civilization, safety, a normal life. I don't want normal. I want this. I want you. I want to keep the light burning. Eleanor leans into his touch. I want to stay. Even knowing what we face? Especially knowing someone has to do this, keep people safe, guard against the dark. She looks at the lamp, still burning despite everything. Might as well be us. Hugh kisses her, soft, careful, like she's precious. And maybe she is. Maybe they both are. Two people choosing to stand against monsters, to protect a world that doesn't even know they exist. Partners? Hugh asks. Partners. Always. They hold each other as dawn breaks over the ocean, the light still burning behind them. January 15th, 1900. The inspector arrives on schedule. Mr. Whitmore, officious, middle-aged, clipboard and measuring instruments. Eleanor and Hugh show him the lighthouse, explain the operations, the costs, the necessity. Whitmore is unimpressed. This lighthouse costs the government a small fortune annually. For what? 2 people sitting on a rock? The shipping lanes have moved south. Fewer vessels pass here each year. I'm recommending decommission. You can't, Eleanor says. People depend on this light. Miss Ashford, I've reviewed the records. 3 ships passed within signaling distance last year. 3. The cost per ship is astronomical. It's not economically viable. There are things you don't understand, Eleanor. Hugh touches her arm, warning. They agreed not to mention the creatures. No one believes. It only makes them seem insane. But Eleanor can't let this happen. Mr. Whitmore, if you decommission this lighthouse, people will die. That's rather dramatic. It's the truth. This lighthouse serves a purpose beyond navigation. I can't explain it in terms you'll believe, but I'm begging you, don't shut down this light. Whitmore snaps his clipboard shut. My recommendation stands. The lighthouse will be decommissioned effective March 1st. You'll both be reassigned or released. Good day. He leaves on the supply boat. Eleanor and Hugh watch him go. He's going to kill hundreds of people, Eleanor says quietly. And he doesn't even know it. We have 6 weeks. Maybe we can change their minds. How? We can't prove the creatures exist without bringing officials here, and if we bring them here during darkness, they'll die. Hugh is silent, thinking. There might be a way, he finally says. A dangerous way, but if it works, we can prove the threat, force them to keep the lighthouse operational. What way? We let the light go out, briefly, during the day. Let the creatures emerge. But we're ready. We document it, photograph them, capture one if possible, provide irrefutable evidence. Eleanor stares at him. That's insane. If we lose control, we won't. We'll be prepared, armed, and we'll only let the light out for minutes, just enough. Hugh, people could die. A ship could pass. The creatures could overwhelm us. I know the risks, but if we do nothing, the lighthouse closes, and then hundreds definitely die. This way, we have a chance to save everyone. Eleanor considers. It's dangerous, reckless, but he's right. It might be their only option. When? She asks. Next supply boat. We ask Thomas to bring a photographer, someone from the mainland authority. We let them witness it. Then we prove the threat is real. And if they don't believe us, if they think we faked it, then we tried, and we go down fighting. Eleanor nods slowly. All right, we do it. Together. Together. They arranged it carefully. Thomas brought 2 officials from the mainland authority and a photographer with a camera. The officials are skeptical, annoyed at being dragged to a remote rock for ghost stories. Hugh and Eleanor don't argue, just prepare. Weapons ready, flares loaded, emergency procedures in place. And at noon, when the officials are watching, Eleanor extinguishes the lamp. Daylight helps, but the lamp's absence is immediate. Within 5 minutes, the creatures emerge from the water, slowly, hesitantly, but they come. The officials see them, freeze in shock. What in God's name? Stay back, Hugh orders. Don't move, don't run. The photographer, to his credit, starts taking pictures, camera clicking, capturing the impossible. The creatures move closer, testing, sensing weakness. Hugh counts down. 30 seconds. That's all we need. Eleanor has the lamp ready, watches Hugh. Now. She lights the lamp. The beam flares to life. The creatures shriek, retreat, scramble back to the water, gone within seconds. Silence. The officials stand there, pale, shaking. What were those things? One finally asked. The reason this lighthouse exists, Hugh says, the reason it can never be decommissioned, not ever. The photographer develops the photos on the mainland, shows them to the authorities. The evidence is irrefutable. 3 weeks later, Eleanor and Hugh receive a letter. The lighthouse will remain operational, permanently, funded at twice the previous budget, new equipment provided, additional security measures approved, and Hugh and Eleanor are offered lifetime positions as keepers. They accept. 5 years later, 1905. Eleanor stands in the lamp room. Early morning, dawn breaking over the Atlantic. She's 31 now, stronger, weathered by wind and salt, hair streaked with gray though she's still young. The lamp behind her burns steady, as it has every night for 5 years. Footsteps on the stairs. Hugh joins her. He's 40 now, beard more gray than black, scars faded but present. He wraps his arms around her from behind, rests his chin on her shoulder. "Sleep well?" he asks. "Well enough. You?" "Same." They stand together, watching the sun rise, the ocean turning from black to blue. 5 years since Eleanor arrived. 5 years of keeping the light. The creatures still live in the caves below, still test the darkness. But Hugh and Eleanor are ready, always. They married 3 years ago, officiated by the supply boat captain. Simple ceremony, 2 witnesses. Just them and the lighthouse. No children. This life isn't safe for children, but they're content, together. "Supply boat today," Hugh mentions. "I know, I made a list." "Did you add tea to the list?" "Of course I added tea. What kind of person do you think I am?" Hugh smiles against her shoulder. "The kind who forgets tea every time." "That was once. One time." "3 times. You're exaggerating." They fall into comfortable silence. 5 years of shared watches, shared fights, shared life. The supply boat appears on the horizon, right on schedule. "I'll help unload. You make breakfast." "Deal." Eleanor kisses Hugh. Familiar. Warm. Home. Then she descends the stairs, steps outside into cold morning air. The lighthouse stands behind her, tall, strong, light sweeping endlessly. A prison for monsters, a beacon for ships, a home for 2 people who chose impossible over safe. Eleanor watches the supply boat approach, smiles. Some lights are worth keeping burning, no matter the cost.